Hey guys, and welcome back to the video. So this is building a timber sleeper retaining wall, but this is like a low line garden edging one just to retain the plants that will be installed by the client. So I already had the post set the day before, so I didn't actually record that unfortunately, but here's me putting all the sleepers on. 1200 centers, 2.4 meters long. I tried to minimize the cuts as much as I could. This is I didn't set these posts because I wanted to confirm with the client it's exactly how they wanted, because they wanted it on a specific angle. So yeah, I pretty much had everything done except that, and I mocked him up so you could see and confirm that he actually likes it. But yeah, you can see the step down there. That's when it was starting to get too high for the fence, and there's a second step down there. So the client actually wanted it square off the fence but then square to the wall, so it makes that like the return a bit of a funny angle, but that's what they want, right? So here's the back side of it. I will fill that with ag line and drain line just to get rid of some of the water. Oh, and this is the front. They wanted like a small garden bed at the front. It's like a U-box, so it actually starts off with like 100 mil high, then goes to 500 high. You know how hard it was to actually dig this because of those trees above my head? So what I'm trying to do here is remove the old sleeper, which was just pegged into the ground with stakes. So I tried to dig it out and then just lever it out the best I could, but the ground actually had a really good hold on it, so it was quite hard to pull it out. So yeah, just chipping out the dirt best I can. Finally got it out. Here it is out, just a view so you can see what it looks like. Wasn't really anything there, it was just a timber literally against the front of it, and I'll just be rebuilding a wall in its place, but leaving enough room for like a mower to fit by. So here's just a time lapse of me taking some measurements, trying to get just square to the gutter. So I can't really go square off the driveway because it's a different angle. So at least when you look at it front on, it looks parallel to the gutter. So I use the gutter as my reference point, trying to dig a hole. I'm digging just 350 down for pretty much 100 up. I know it's overkill, but you know, I wanted to somewhat do it right, I guess. But this tree was such a big problem. Kept hitting my head on all the branches. Hard. My post log digger kept getting caught in the tree branches. I think I ended up just getting frustrated and like snapping trees. And spiders were on my head, as well as like heaps of bugs. Oh, and dude, you have no idea, these freaking massive bees would not leave me alone the entire day. All day long, just flying around my face. I could not stand it. So I think there was like a massive rock here. Oh, and I think, one of these holes, I can't tell if it's that one or the next. Oh, see that one there to the left? There's actually a water line right there, so I didn't dig through it, but I found it, which was lucky. So thankfully I didn't hit it. I even took some photos to prove I didn't break it, just in case. You got to take photos of what you do in case people try to blame you for things. I don't know what I'm doing right now. It's working, I guess. Trying to get things level. Yeah, so I'm actually setting these as I go kind of thing, because I was trying to get it like a monolithic pour of concrete and level at the same time, so I didn't have to come back a second day to screw it all up, I guess. But it worked out pretty well setting it like this, because the boards I got were pretty straight. They weren't that twisted or anything, so I could screw them all off level and square and then just pour concrete in around them. It actually worked quite well. I don't normally ever do it like this, but yeah, in this case we did, and it worked out great. So when you're building like sleeper edging boards, you gotta start with a post right at the end, and then 1200 center, and then your last post will be 50 mil from the edge overhanging, if that makes sense. So that way the next board can continue along. I'm just trying to like fine tune the level, get it perfect. So I just needed a bit of a tap down, so I'm not like smacking it hard, just enough to make it move because it's in pretty soft ground. The ground here was actually very sandy, But then there was some spots where it's just like rock solid. And obviously it was hard in the spots under the trees, because why would it ever be easy? So here we are setting up for the mixer. Gonna make some concrete. So I'm using a sand and gravel pre-mixture, and then just adding the cement myself, which I personally prefer to do because I can make larger batches for less money, essentially, and I can control it. So if I need a big mix, I don't have to buy so many bags of concrete mix, so it just works out better. I prefer to make my concrete a bit wetter, so it always gets around the whole thing. Because when you have it drier, it tends to just like leave massive air pockets. Anyway, that's just my experience. So when you pour in the concrete in, you want to make sure it goes around the whole entire post. You don't want it to just be on one side, because that's not how it works. And you want it to dry pretty uniform together. So I always just add a little bit extra water so it makes its way around and leaves no air pockets. Because if there's a bit of a gap between the post and the dirt floor underneath, the watery concrete can get underneath. So I think these holes are about 400 mil deep, and they're probably like 350 wide whole way around, I'd say. Oh, single sleeper should be fine. But if you want a video detailing how to build these actual walls, like for a DIY or a beginner, happy to make a video on it when a wall comes up for me. Which I will have one coming up soon if I land the job. I just went out and quoted it today. Just got to give them a price, but it should be a nice little job that I could record. So here is that back garden sleeper retaining wall completed, done, looking pretty schmick. Concrete's been set on these end posts, filled up nice and square, nice cuts, everything's flush, level, plumb, straighty 180, you name it. Here's almost finished that, probably just under halfway, and then coming up in the next photo will be the completed project. As you can see, it turned out pretty good actually. I'm quite happy with it. Customer was happy. Personally, I think it's a little bit too high, but it is leveled the entire way around, so what can you do? If you stepped down, it'd be running into the ground. Here are just some action shots. All the dirt that you'll see on the floors from the customer, he pulled all that out of the garden bed, so it wasn't on me just leaving it sloppy. But yeah, this is the completed job. If you liked it, thanks guys, appreciate it.